How do you want to start it off?
On this beautiful bridge with the river behind us.
Should we start it off like some cheesy infomercial for retiring in Panama?
Ooh, we could do that.
All right, what's your best sales pitch?
Come to Panama. You'll eat and live like a king and queen, but your wallet will be as if you're getting all your meals from McDonald's. Alright, scratch all that. I hope Jordan doesn't put that in the video. But today's video, we're actually going to be talking about the differences between the cost of living back in the States and then comparing it to our experience with the cost of living here in Panama.
And I also added in one more little category because when we were living in Boston, the way that our expenses were really irregular. Mostly because Kaylee spent an absurd amount of money on food. Because she did all of our,
a very specific place I used to spend all my money.
So I also included what the average cost of a couple is for each of these categories.
Yeah.
So we looked up what the biggest expenses were for the average American family, took the top 7 of them, and those are the expenses that we're talking about today.
So people move to Panama for all different reasons. Some people move here for the weather, like today it's 75 and sunny. Some people move here for the culture, like over there's a beautiful woman doing laundry in the river.
And you can see these are all indigenous families walking with us that are all coffee workers. And being a place where the indigenous culture still thrives is super cool.
Yeah.
And then the third reason I would say is the cost of living here. Adios. If there was one place in the world that we could live, if money wasn't a problem, where would it be?
If money wasn't a problem?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Probably California.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
And that's the hard thing where it's like, well, it's not all about the money, but at a certain point it's like,
it is.
It's a pretty big consideration.
Absolutely.
And we thought about going to California, and then we started looking at, to build your own house there, and the cost of the permits. You know what the cost of the permits were?
Absolutely insane, like $40,000 just for a permit.
It wasn't that much, it was 25. I was watching this guy build a shipping container house on YouTube, and he paid over $25,000 for permits.
Oh, that's right.
It took him over 4 months to get them too.
That's insane.
So let's start off by talking about housing. Why are you making a noise? Almost left my keys in there. So let's start off by talking about housing. So back in the United States, when I was 24 years old, I bought a foreclosed condo with my brother in Boston, and we were paying mortgage payments. So I was paying $1,100 a month. And that kind of counts for both of us because Kaylee was living with me. Kaylee wasn't paying rent anywhere because if she wasn't at my place, she was staying with her mom. So between the two of us, we were paying $1,100 a month. And for the average couple in the United States, they're paying $840 a month. So you can see in this chart, I'm gonna put all the sources where I'm getting all this information. That's just the average cost a couple pays for their housing situation, whether they own or they rent. So when you live in this house, one of the downsides is you do have to listen to the barking dog, but the cost is much, much less.
So here we're currently paying $275 a month. That's what Jordan and I are paying, and then we are obviously with Brittany and Drew, they're paying the same amount.
So we have this place locked down for 6 months. And when my mom came to visit, the first thing she said is, you better rent this for a lot longer, because for $275 a month, the fact that you can just walk over here and just do all your laundry is just
amazing.
A huge added bonus. So now, while we're doing laundry, let's talk a little bit about utilities. For this place, we pay $6.20 a month for utilities. That's because electricity, water,
propane.
No, propane's the only thing that we pay for. So we have to fill up our propane tank once a month.
Which is still
$6.20.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And in Boston, I was paying $352 a month in utilities. That was all electricity and HOA fees. That was all I had to pay for. And then the average American family pays $589 in utilities a month.
You ready to go? Are you ready to go? Where are we going?
Come on.
She's doing this. She's doing this weird thing now where she's making us feel really guilty if we don't bring her with us. So when we just went to go north of town, she just goes underneath the table and curls up in a little ball. So now we're bringing her with us.
She's too much.
You want to tell them about utilities if it's not included in their rent?
So when utilities aren't included in the rent, then in Panama you'd probably pay around $25 for electricity and then $18 for water and trash pickup.
And she's talking about per month, just so you guys know. Well, we made it just in time.
I
We
know.
came down to the farmer's market. This guy makes all of his own sausages and cheese. And I totally forgot that today was Tuesday, and I was like,
I know, we were driving by and all of a sudden we're like, wait, we're missing the Tuesday farmer's market.
we're missing a few of our friends because we're a little late, but there's people who make traditional Venezuelan food, and then there's this one guy, and he just makes food from all around the world. We'll introduce you guys to him next time. I just saw our Venezuelan friends. Rice pudding! Rice pudding!
Yes, we have.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
¿Tienes arepas hoy?
Sí, también.
I feel like half the reason why I even go and get these arepas, I mean, they're delicious, no doubt, but we go every week. It's mostly just to talk to those people.
Yeah,
They are some of the
100%.
nicest people. And they also help you learn Spanish, which I really like. It's good
Yes.
practice.
Yes.
So $2 for the Spanish lesson is...
Worth it.
Let's talk a little bit now about a pretty big topic, and that's the cost of healthcare.
So when Jordan and I were living in the States, we had a few things going for us when it came to health insurance. I was still under the age of 26, so luckily I was able to stay on my parents' healthcare, whatever, plan. And Jordan was on Mass Health, which is super, super affordable in Massachusetts.
So our total healthcare cost per month was $86. So like I said, Kaylee's was nothing, and then mine was 86 bucks. So it's super affordable for us.
So believe it or not, Jordan and I are basically paying the same exact price for health insurance here in Panama.
It actually is the exact same price. It's still $86 because Kaylee's still under 26,
Right.
and I'm still paying Mass Health. So what we've been planning is if anything really bad happens, we would go back to the United States.
Or we would just pay whatever the cost is at the hospital because it's still significantly cheaper.
We met a lot of expats that are living here that don't pay for health insurance. They just pay out of pocket if anything ever happens. Because this isn't from our experience, this is what's been told to us. That going to the hospital, the cost is about a tenth of what it is in the United States. We just met a woman, she got a hip replacement and it cost $2,500. But if we were gonna get health insurance, which we're still thinking about doing, it would be about $90 a person a month, and that includes the private hospital. They have amazing doctors there. A lot of the doctors went to medical school in the States. But it's still significantly cheaper compared to the average couple in the United States that's paying a combined $928 a month. It's time for you to come clean.
About my Life Alive problem,
About your life alive and just general or organic
food addiction.
food addiction.
Yeah, it's true.
wanna-
It still is kind of true, but I've come a long way.
Now it's just shifted over to gelato and what else? And Organica.
And kombuchas.
Kombuchas.
So combined, Jordan and I, most of the chunk came from me, unfortunately, honestly. It came to about $1,100 a month we were spending on food. That's like sickening to say.
Yeah, we would go to eat a lot. We'd go to like, my brother would call it $10 salads, which was
Sweet greens.
Sweet green. And here you can get food for very, very cheap. If you come to guys like this that are selling their produce right on the side of the street. A lot of these guys are farmers, they grow it themselves. Put some things into perspective. You can get a pineapple for 50 cents to $1, depending on if you're friends with them or not. You can get a whole big bunch of like 20 bananas for 25 cents.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna get things from the States, which sometimes we indulge on,
Right.
it's gonna be more expensive than it is even in the States.
Because it's imported and
Has to travel all this way
Exactly.
and all that. So here we're paying about $700 a month for food. Still not great,
it's still, you know,
but
we could do better.
we could cut down on the gelatos a little bit. And to put that in perspective, the average American couple pays $644 a month for food. So we're a little bit over that living here in Panama. Could get it much, much cheaper. We know people that do $200, $300 a month.
You easily could do it a lot cheaper, and like out of convenience, a lot of times we go to the grocery store instead of going to the Tuesday farmers market every single week and stocking up on veggies. There's ways around it. We just haven't fully committed to that way yet.
Do you want to explain to these guys what these are? This is like one of the biggest deals about coming to Panama, because using our phones all throughout Central America was a disaster.
Oh, it was such a nightmare.
And it was so expensive.
Yes. So Panama, definitely by far out of all of Mexico and Central America, has been the cheapest for phone plans. So basically, These are $5 a piece, and we each get one a week, and it's unlimited data for the week. So that's 20 bucks a month that we have to pay for our phones.
$40 total. You don't get that much in phone calls. I think you only get like 10 or 20 minutes in phone calls for the week, but we never use that anyway.
Right, and even if we usually, when we're talking on the phone, we're using Wi-Fi through WhatsApp.
And now compare that to what we paid in the States. We actually didn't pay anything because both of our phones were paid for by our employers. So that was nice for us when we were back there, when we were working. And compare that to the average couple in the United States, they're paying about $160 a month. Well, I think we should talk about one of our biggest expenses for the last 3 years.
Woo!
And it's only naturally gonna be one of your biggest expenses if you've driven all around the United States, all the way to Alaska, all the way down, all the way down here to Panama,
Yeah.
and that's gas.
Yeah.
So when you first look at gas prices here, you might just be really confused because you look at it and it says 65 cents. So at first you're like 65 cents for what? And then you realize that they use liters here.
Right.
And 65 cents for a liter is $2.46 per gallon, which is the best price by far in Mexico and all of Central America.
Yes.
Mexico was like $4, Belize was like $6,
Yeah.
Guatemala was like $4, Costa Rica is expensive too.
Right.
So we were so happy when we came here and saw these prices. Well, it just started raining, so we're gonna go and try and seek some cover. That's a fire truck, in case you're wondering if they have fire services and police services here. They do. It looks just like the States too.
It does.
But our expenses for gas has gone way down because now we share a car.
Exactly.
And we don't need to drive an hour to work, or
Right.
Katie was commuting an hour to come and see me and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Right.
So now for 1 month in gas we pay
I don't know. You didn't tell me.
$106.
$106?
Yeah,
That was what I used to pay a friggin' week. I used to pay that in a week.
$106 in a week?
Probably, back in the States.
Yeah, we fill up our tank here once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And back when we were in Boston, we used to pay $466 combined a month, which was a lot. But we were driving around all over the place for work, to see friends, even just to go to the grocery store was like a 30-minute drive.
Right, absolutely.
And just to compare that to the average couple in the United States, the average couple pays $368 a month, so a little bit less than we were when we were living in Boston. We're making our way back to our car right now, and we got one last expense for you. That is to go with the car.
Yeah, and this one is probably going to be the most mind-blowing for you guys, because it was for us.
So this expense is car insurance, and back when I was in Boston, I decided to buy a brand new sports car because I was 22 and I was stupid and I didn't know what to do with my money, and that's what I did.
It would bring you some happiness, you know?
And it didn't. So my insurance payment alone was so expensive. So for car insurance, we paid
It was $378 combined between the two of us.
a month.
Which is a lot.
And the insurance for this car here in Panama, any guesses? Any guesses?
It's under $378, that's for sure.
$10 a month. $120, you pay for the year. So we paid $120 for the year. Now, granted that only covers liability because this car is a 2006. Anything that's over 10 years old, all you can get is liability insurance. So that's what we got liability insurance. So $10 a month for a 2006 Toyota Hilux with 50,000 miles. And when you compare that to the average couple in the United States, they pay $258 a month. So we were paying more back when we were in Boston, but here, as you guys know, much, much cheaper. You ready for the final numbers?
I'm ready. Let's hear it.
Average USA couple, $3,787 a month.
$37.87.
Us when we were in Boston, $34.82 a month.
Okay, all right.
Us when we were in Panama,
What is it, like 1,000?
$1,223.
That's literally insane.
It was like a third of what we were paying back in Boston.
Oh my god.
Of course, this isn't everything. This is just kind of like,
The basics.
this is those expenses that everybody has.
Exactly.
They're what everyone's gonna pay. And that's what we're just trying to explain to this video is if you come to Panama, or if you're interested in living in Panama, or you're aspiring to live in Panama.
This is kind of what is expected.
Yeah.
You know?
And then it depends how much gelato you eat. If you want to go and get a lot of gelato, your food expenses might go up a little bit.
Right. You have the option to live very, very affordably here.
And still have a lot of the same comforts as the United States, which is what brought us here, as well as the culture, as well as
The weather.
as well as the weather, as well as the beauty, the hikes, the adventures, being close to the Caribbean and the Pacific.
And the community, the people, the friends that we've met, all of it.
And everything else that we've told you guys over these last 7 or 8 months that we've been here. So that's all we got for this one.
That's all we got for you guys. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a kind of a different approach, more informative, but we wanted to share this information with you guys.
We'll be back at Building Up on Our Land next time. See you guys next time.